Hey everyone, we are Jacob and Sydney Mulford, and we are your Park Crest missionaries to the people and country of Portugal. We would like to share with you the purpose of missions, how it works here at Park Crest, and how you can get involved.
When you hear missions, what do you think of? You may hear that missions is providing food or clean water for those in need. Maybe it's building houses or churches for those without the ability to do so themselves. Some would say it's going to a distant country, and others, the house next door. Maybe it's sending money to people and organizations who are doing all of these things. The truth is, all of these things are a part of missions, but they're not the true purpose. That purpose, the true foundation of missions, can be found in Jesus' last great commission to his followers. In Matthew 28:19-20, Jesus tells his followers, "Go therefore and make disciples of all nations, baptizing them in the name of the Father and the Son and the Holy Spirit, teaching them to observe all that I commanded you." This is reiterated in Acts 1:8, where Jesus tells his disciples that they will be his witnesses both in Jerusalem and in Judea and Samaria and even to the remotest part of the earth. The true purpose of missions is to make disciples of all nations.
Practically, missions can be done many different ways. Our mission at Park Crest is to show, know, and grow. We live out missions locally by doing everything we can to show the love of Christ to our community so that they can come to know Christ and grow in their relationship with Christ. This includes things like Show Springfield, outreach with local organizations, show circles, our discipleship program, worship services, and even our summer camps. All of these things play into the ultimate goal of making disciples, just as Jesus commanded us to do. Another aspect of missions, and the aspect that most people associate with the word missions, involves those who go to other countries and people groups to make disciples. This can also take on many forms, including planting churches nationally, short-term mission trips out of the country, or surrendering to live full-time on the mission field. For as long as Park Crest has existed, foreign missions has been front and center in our church. Those missionaries who surrender to live full-time on the mission field rely on the monthly support of churches and individuals around the United States to reach the people they are called by God to minister to. Park Crest supports over 90 missionary families and missions organizations who are making disciples around the world. The people of Park Crest support these individuals, giving over $247,000 towards missions in 2022 alone. Park Crest members have also been involved in going on many short-term trips over the years, including recent trips to the Middle East, Japan, and Kenya in 2019, where we saw 110 people saved, along with a trip this past summer to Nicaragua, where we had a team visit with and serve alongside Tyler Carlton. There are also currently 7 missionary families living full-time on the field that were sent out of Park Crest. Don and Dolores Sweargen in Mexico, Roger and Sandra Monismith in Australia, Ruth King in Japan, Russ and Faye Iveson in England, as well as a family in a country where the gospel is restricted, our church planters Brant and Stacy Leach in Orlando, and Tyler Carlton in Nicaragua. Sydney and I are currently in the process of being sent out of Park Crest to the country of Portugal. Now that you know what missions is and how it works here at Park Crest, let's talk about how you can get involved.
There are 3 main ways to be involved in missions here at Park Crest. The first is by giving. 100% of the money you give to missions at Park Crest goes to support the missionaries and projects around the world. We do this through what we call Faith Promise. This is a 1-year commitment to give over and above your tithes and offerings by faith. When you turn in your committed amount, then we are able to discern how we as a church are able to financially support current or new missionaries. Supporting our missionaries financially is a great way to help make disciples around the world. The giving of our people is a benefit to missionaries in many ways, including Christmas bonuses for our sent missionaries, short-term missions trip expenses, and the biggest of all is our on-campus missions apartment. We allow missionaries to use this 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment free of charge. This saves missionaries thousands of dollars on costs when they are traveling to raise support or sharing with churches what God is doing on the field. The second way to be a part of missions is by going on a short-term missions trip. This means using your skills and experiences to help our full-time missionaries make more disciples. These trips also open your eyes to the need for worldwide evangelism. Finally, we hope there are people who get involved in missions at Park Crest by surrendering to serve full-time on the mission field. There are so many countries and people groups who need to hear about Jesus, and we are praying that individuals and families in our church would surrender to make disciples of them. Missions has been and continues to be one of the most important parts of ministry at Park Crest. It is our desire that every person who is a part of Park Crest be involved in missions in some way. Spend time in prayer with your family to see how you can be involved by giving, going, or surrendering, so that you can help make disciples of all nations.
And that is Missions at Park Crest.